Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kodash, Shalom to the 144,000. The rest of you elect out there, Shalom to you all. We'll make this quick. Anyway, I'll entitle this, well, right here I put in History of Rome's Demonetization. But the title of this video is Will We Experience More Inflation During the Trump administration, aka Nero. That's Nero coming back. Anyway, so I put in History of Rome's demonetization. Well, that's what we're suffering now. Inflation is demonetization. So they did that in Rome over 2,000. We're talking 2,000 years ago. It says in ancient Rome, demonetization primarily refers to the practice of debasement, where emperors like Nero would gradually reduce the silver content of the standard currency. Meaning, you started with a penny, and I'm gonna go into that in Revelation chapter 6. A penny was a day's wages for, let's say, a Roman soldier, compared to like a cop that maybe been on the force for 10 years. He's making decent money. You know, he's got medicals, got dental. You know, he's got certain fringe benefits, and his pay is good. You know, you'd figure after 10 years or so, you go up in rank. Anyway, it says debasement, where emperors like Nero would gradually reduce the silver content of the standard currency, meaning he would put inferior metals. The denarius, which is the money system of Rome, to fund their expenses, essentially making the coins worth less and causing inflation. So inflation is not a modern word, a new word. It goes back to the ancient times. It's when you debase the currency. It says effectively devaluing the existing currency. This practice is considered a key factor in the economic decline of the Roman Empire. But you notice it mentioned Nero. It mentioned Trump. Trump is Nero, and Nero is Trump. Let's get some more information. Roman currency, eventually the economic conditions of the Second Punic War forced the Romans to fully adopt a coinage system. You can go into the history of the Punic War, which came about before the Messiah. Roman currency. Cassius Dio wrote the following: the death of Caligula, the Senate demonetized his coinage and ordered that they may be melted. The Roman economy, the basement of the decline of Rome. It says here, history of Roman imperial coinage, money, was a history of deficit spending. We use that term today. The government uses that term today. Deficit spending is when you buy stuff and you don't have the money for it. Meaning, you don't have the money, but you got a credit card. So you use a credit card. That's why people max out their credit cards, because they think it's free money. It's not free money until it gets maxed out. Then you realize you got to pay it, and then your credit history suffers for that. It says in the intellectual environment of the 1960s to 1980s, monetary explanations for, you got to go open that up, which I'm not going to do. How much was one How much was one Roman denarii worth? Denarius is money, denarii is money. About $50, which doesn't make sense because the Romans got a penny. We're going to go into that history. I don't like that answer. How did the Roman Empire lose money? Administrative, legislative, and military costs. You got the administrative, legislative, and military in this country, in this system. This is the same as the Roman system all over again. Costs kept adding up, and the empire found creative new ways to pay for things along with other factors. This led to hyperinflation. A fractured economy, localization of trade, meaning people kept it, they went back to a barter system. Heavy taxes. A tariff on China is a tax on you. You're paying the tariff, the tax. And a financial crisis that crippled Rome. This country is going to be crippled, man. Okay, how much would a Roman denarius be in USA today, in the US dollar today? Now, this don't make no sense. A penny should also be known as a denarii. Let me do this. What was the pay for a centurion in Rome? What was the pay? Let me see something. Centurion is officer of 100. Life for a Roman soldier might not have been long, but it did pay well. A centurion on the front line of battle was given 300 denarii a month for his services, while a praetorian guard stationed in Rome took home 60 denarii a month, also a comfortable salary. Okay, 300 denarii. 300 denarii. Let's break this down. To US dollar. Let me do it this way. How much is 300 denarii in the Messiah's time? Okay, 300 denarii is about a year's income. Now let me do this. Let me go to the scripture now. Let me go to the King James. Let me go to Revelation 6. Did I put the wrong thing? Revelation chapter 6. Penny. Revelation 6 verse 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine represents, food. You cook with oil, you drink wine, but it also represents the truth. The truth is not going to be hurt. Even when all hell breaks loose, the truth is not going. The truth is also known as wine, and Solomon said, "I will give thee spiced wine," which is the truth, the knowledge. Oil in the lamps, the virgins, the 10 virgins. The oil represents the knowledge. So, a measure of wheat, you make bread with it. Barley, it's food. It represents food. So let's look up the word penny. Remember, the Lord hired servants to work a day for them. They got a penny, right? The first hour, then the 11th hour. You had people that come in at the end, and they still got the same penny. For a penny. Let's look up the word penny.
Strong's G 1220. Denarion. Denarion.
Which is a Roman coin, a day's wages. And I'm going to show you that. Containing 10. A Roman silver coin, actual silver, in New Testament times, it took its name from it being equal to 10 asses. Okay, so 1 penny. You know what? Let me do this. I'm gonna look up the word. How much is it? How much does it cost for 10 asses? We ain't talking about that ass. We're talking about the other ass. A number after 2017 BC increased to 16, about 3.898 grams of 1375 ounce point. It was a principal silver coin of the Roman Empire from the parable of the laborers, that's in Matthew 20, and the vineyard. It would seem that a penny to us is the kingdom. You go out and work in the field, you're going to get a penny. You're going to get the kingdom. Would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. So the people that worked for the Lord, they said, okay, you work for me a day and I'm going to pay you this much. They said, that's a good deal. Yeah, we'll work. So they made good money. They made good money. So now it says, a Roman silver coin in New Testament time, it took its name from it being equal to 10 asses. So let me look. Let me do this. How much is a piece of ass? You might say. You might ask. How much is a piece of ass? How much for 1 ass? Not a piece of ass either. How much is, what is the price of a bullock? I don't want that. Let me do it this way. Donkey. is donkey. Donkey. Owning a donkey is not as expensive as one might think. In fact, donkeys are relatively affordable compared to other animals. The average cost of purchasing a donkey is between $200 and $3,000. Okay, so let's go with the 200. So 200 times 10, which a penny is, 200 times 10 will be 2,000. So a day's pay for a Roman, let's say a soldier, or somewhat of a high-ranking, from a soldier to a centurion, we're talking about $2,000 a day. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So we're playing with the numbers, but you got a lot of money. So the fulfillment of this right here, let me come back over here. Whatever the pay was, they got a penny, right? Which is the denarius, right? Denarius. That's the penny in Revelation 6. The word is denarius, and that was a day's pay. It says, okay, let me read this. It was the principal silver coin of the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborer in the vineyard, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. A Roman, it should have told. Let me see. So let's say it was $500 a day. That's a good. You make $500 a day. You work 8 hours. You get $500 a day. Henry Ford gave their workers a $5 a day. $5 a day is a 25% or a quarter of gold, right? So you got the silver, $5 silver piece. So gold should be about 3,000. It should be more than that, but 3,000, half of 3,000, 1,500, half of 1,500 is about 750. So what they were getting back then, when Henry Ford declared $5 a day, it was equivalent to $750 a day. That's why when he died, every worker went to his funeral, because he enriched their lives. And back then they didn't take out no taxes. So if you made $750, your bring home was $750. Them taxes came later. They wasn't taxing you, man. They're withholding taxes, the victory tax, only for wars. It was a temporary during they did it in Did they do it in World War I? I know they did it in World War II. And after the war, they cut the tax, but they kept the tax going. But people don't understand money. They don't understand how the money system works. You know, that's why it says it's easier than taking candy from a baby. You take candy from a baby, they're gonna cry. You take money from the average American people as a whole, they're not gonna cry. They're supposed to cry. They're taking your shit. You're in slavery. All right? And so what does this mean? Let me do this. Come back over here. So in order for you to get some wheat to make some food, it costs you a day's wages. So if we go by what Henry Ford gave the people, you know, when he set up the assembly line, $5 a day, everybody wanted to work there. People that was working there, they got houses, they went on vacations. The women stayed home. the the man worked 8 hours. He worked the shift. He went home and he had got a brand new car every couple of years. Women had to stay home. She would take care of the kids. Now this whole thing with women going out on the workforce, that leads into what? Adultery. This is an adulterous generation. So this whole American thing is all BS. It's based upon total wickedness, man. You know how many if they killed every woman that committed adultery, you wouldn't have no fucking women left. You wouldn't have no women. Period. And the men, you would have maybe 3 Israelites left. So they tell you this, how great this place is and it's God. These motherfuckers don't believe in God. Watch what this guy Nero's going to do. And like I said, I strongly believe he's the one that's going to introduce the micro C hip, and he's going to put teeth on it. He's going to enforce it. That's why I had that dream. So we're living in this time. And then we in the home stretch of this thing. You brothers that are, mediocre, you guys that are just, so type of dudes, most side gonna get rid of you. All of you supposed to be on fire. Point blank, period. Okay? So this means, this is talking about, in a nutshell, this is talking about hyperinflation. Will we suffer hyperinflation during this administration? And then maybe the chip will fix everything. The next major prophecy that's going to take place before the deliverance, before the destruction, is the MOTB. Everybody on the planet Earth that's on the grid, that's in the system, you're going to have to get that chip. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.